I'm Heather Schultz, and I'm going to go over my Module 5 slideshow for Understanding My Community for EDL 856. I live in Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling's a pretty friendly city. Most of the people are pretty open-minded and accepting of each other. Our high school has a tradition of being one of the top, if not the top, in the state year after year, as is our district. So I believe our students are pretty high achievers. One of the traditions our community has is having a homecoming parade every year. It surrounds the high school's homecoming game. It includes the middle school football teams, various high school clubs, every fall sports team, the band, and the jazz band. So they first do the parade through part of our town, and then they go down to, we have a big amphitheater on the waterfront, and then they call each of the team's coaches up. All of the teams are announced. It's a pretty nice event to celebrate all the kids. Our town also offers a lot to our residents. For a smaller town, we have a large network of trails. It goes all the way up along the river, and people can ride for miles on their bikes or jog or run or whatever they want to do. We also have Ogilvie Park, which is a big park in our area that brings a lot of tourism to our town. It has skiing. They have a winter festival of lights, which actually brings in a lot of tourism. They have a lodge that has all kinds of things in it, including a spa. We have the Capitol Music Hall, which brings in a lot of events like smaller venue shows. We have a lot of touring plays and musicals come through. Lots of festivals go along our waterfront every year. Various Italian festival, jazz festival, blues festival, lots of things for people to do. And we also have a professional symphony that performs a few times a year. I would say that people don't love change in our town, especially our older residents, but I do think we have a lot of younger residents that, of course, are more open-minded. Okay, our population characteristics. Wheeling, West Virginia has a population of 27,894 people. 99% of those are citizens. We sit in the northern panhandle of West Virginia, which gives us a pretty unique tri-state access. If you look at the little map on here of the state of West Virginia, that little tiny grayed area, that is where our city sits. And that changed it on me. I apologize. Try and fix that. There we go. Anyway, it's about 10-minute drive to Ohio and about 15-minute drive to Pennsylvania. So our residents may work in West Virginia, but they may also work in Ohio or Pennsylvania. So, that's pretty unique to probably other areas. We have 89% Caucasian population, 6% are black. 1.6 are 2 or more races, 1.2 are Hispanic, and 1.1 are Asian. The median age for our city is 45.4 years. When looking at our high school population, there are about 1,550 students. There are many different groups of students. I would say it's pretty diverse, and the diversity can work against us or for us. It can be positive or negative, depending on, more than anything, the upbringing of the children. The most common employment factors or sectors for those who live in Wheeling are healthcare and social assistance, retail, trade, and educational services. Highest paying industries in our industry are mining, quarrying oil, gas extraction, utilities, real estate, and leasing. Gas and oil has become very big in our area. A lot of miners have lost their jobs. We've also had a lot of the factories and things shut down, which have left a lot of families without, their dad as their major breadwinner having a job or having to be retrained for a different trade. And it's also hurt people's pensions. So that has not been a positive thing. We have families from the lowest of incomes to the highest of incomes in our schools. We have about 45% that identify with a religion, and those would be Christian, Catholic, Jewish, or Eastern faith. Knowing our communication channels, we have 2 main local news channels, WTOV 9 and WTRF 7. Both of these news sources have Facebook pages. They utilize them. They use the Facebook Live. They will post things, just information in general. And they also use Twitter. We have 8 radio stations locally, but the 2 main ones that are for news information are WKKX 1600 and 1170 WWVA. Those are both on the AM stations. Our local newspaper is called the Wheeling Intelligencer. I would say that the majority of the public watches the news stations, and News 9 is the most popular of those. Fewer and fewer people read the paper or subscribe to it. Many of our residents, especially the older residents, listen to the AM radio stations. Unfortunately, a lot of people use social media to find out information, whether it's hearsay or not, and that's not always the most reliable resource. Looking at schools in the school district, I would say that is a major problem for middle and high school principals. Kids using social media to be mean to each other, pick at each other, say things they shouldn't, and then it causes tension in school. Along with utilizing our local news stations, our school system uses their Facebook and Twitter accounts to disseminate information and do as much as they can to promote the good things going on in each school. Our community groups, there are a lot of different sports and activities for the kids in our community. Our families spend a lot of time in these activities, whether it's youth basketball leagues, dance, various arts activities. There's a lot for the youth to do, and I would say a lot of families spend time shuffling kids to and from those activities. In our schools, the curriculum is decided by teacher committees, and we focus on state standards. Teachers have the freedom to pick and choose what they want to teach based on their standards. So, just because a certain manual is purchased for me does not mean I have to cover it front to back. I have to, look at my standards and decide what does the best job at teaching my students those standards. Our high school offers a lot. We have marching band, jazz band, steel band, strings program, a choral program, a variety of athletic programs. The traditional ones: football, baseball, basketball, girls softball, girls basketball, volleyball. But we also have a lacrosse team. I think that is considered a club, so it has to be funded by themselves. The state does not recognize it as what's called our SSAC sports, but it's competing with other schools across the state. And I think we have even like a motocross team. We have a theater department. We have AP classes, plenty of honors classes, and we have a variety of career tech classes. So even if a child is not necessarily college bound and they want more of a technical career, they do have a variety of things and good things to prepare them at our high school. Our administration works hard to keep students involved and included at our high school. And there are a variety of student clubs and organizations, as well as community service groups, to keep the children active.